Taco Bell is
dog food.
The best
but
grade
it's
of
the
meat.
goat.
It's great. Grade F meat, bro.
But you fucks with it.
Heavy, bro.
Yeah.
The best F plus meat I've ever eaten in my life,
Yeah.
bro.
It's just like
And fake processed cheese.
What is
Yeah.
cheese, bro?
it's,
That yellow goo that they give us.
Yeah.
yeah. I bet you that shit's so flammable,
Oh, bro. Set your whole life on fire, bro.
bro. That shit fucked up my stomach too. I didn't even eat. Like I just had the fry supreme.
Yeah, I never get that.
Really?
What?
Nah, I usually just go steak quesadilla
Yeah.
and beef burrito.
Yeah. There's
Fries.
there's two types of people in this world. I'm talking to the audience with this as well. Is that it's people who love Taco Bell or who absolutely despise Taco
There's
Bell.
no
There's
in
no
the
in
middle.
between. There's no in between. It's as black and white as it gets.
It's true. I've never
I
seen
think
something like,
so.
yeah, you know.
Mm.
So I hate it. Taco Bell. I fucks with Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like Arby's.
Everybody hates
Everybody
Arby's,
hates
bro.
Arby's,
I like
except for
Arby's.
you, bro.
It's a front for drug dealers, bro.
But it's like a good, like, you know, if you want to, you know, check somebody for their personality, like, quickly.
You like Arby's?
No. Do you like T-Bell?
If you don't know what T-Bell is, it's already a problem,
Yeah,
bro.
it's done. Done the
a
talks,
waste, man.
man.
Done it.
Done the fucking talks.
What do you mean you don't know about T-Bell, dog?
So you guys want to start this thing?
Didn't we start?
Let's get it.
Well, I didn't do the intro.
Oh, it's okay.
I
No,
gotta
no,
do
the intro's right now. Oh, I don't have a fucking thing.
Oh my God. I'll let you look it up.
Just do it, brother.
All right. So let's go.
Ah,
Welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. It's TGR 905. It's me. It's Rye Guy. I'm here with Jay Bills.
E? Wagwan.
And I'm here with Nico Suave.
AKA Bricky Martin.
Jeez. Yes.
So, yo, it's been a while.
It's been a
A
minute.
long time.
Obviously, we're missing J-Rod, but, you know,
Daddy duty.
he's here.
Slanging
He's here with us in spirit.
He's here in spirit. He's not dead or anything. He's
slanging
just-
bricks somewhere.
but yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Quite a long time. Literally.
Probably 2 months.
Yeah. Probably longer than that still.
Probably 3 months.
17
I'm being
weeks.
conservative.
Yeah.
17 weeks for sure.
And it's not for the lack of us losing our fire. We still have these flames. We still
It's-
have
it's
there.
bare shit to talk.
Mhm.
It's there.
Yeah, just life happens sometimes. But,
Yeah.
you know, the man down with the plan dam
Uh-huh.
are back in the stew. And we're ready to do our thing, I guess.
I feel like that's always like what comes up when you don't do something for a while or when you
Yeah.
don't link somebody for a while. Like just the other night, I linked my boy for the first time since March. But we have that relationship where it's just like, you know, you literally just pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
Like nothing is missed a beat,
yeah.
you know, that type of thing. So
That's blessed, yo.
yeah, I just want to, it's always good to have those
Yeah.
kind of people like on your side. I'm sure like it'd be the same thing if, you know, you or I, or
Yeah.
you and like myself and Rye Guy didn't see each other for like 3 months for whatever reason, because, you know, we see each other every day.
Yep.
Facts.
We see each other every day, but we can only get a podcast every once every
once in a
3
while.
months.
Yeah.
But we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
There's a remedy to our madness, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the time of filming this, like, is Canada officially out of the World Cup?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
They're officially out.
So, that sucks.
They got cooked by Croatia 4-1.
So they're not playing at all?
No, well,
Well, they
we still
won't,
have
huh?
another game, but
They have another. So
they're
what's the
eliminated.
purpose?
Yeah.
Round robin.
Just to play, basically.
Just because you're already there.
Yeah, so they're probably end up putting all their like bench guys on.
True,
Get them
true.
a run out.
Playing for pride.
Yeah. That was heartbreaking. We were cooked in the first minute. We scored. It was a greasy goal.
Mm-hmm.
I almost like threw up with happiness. And then we started getting cooked.
Yeah. Like I was keeping up with the score. I wasn't near a television at the time, but during my breaks, I was just like, I saw your guys' chat. I was
Yeah.
like, we scored, and then I checked back later. It was like 4-1. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Bro, it was basically athleticism and like eagerness and young talent versus experience. And experience tends to trump that when you
Yeah,
use it
Man
properly.
strength.
Yeah. Well, old man strength is a real thing. It's a thing.
Facts.
But
it wasn't even strength. Like those
Yeah.
guys are smaller than us. You know what I mean? We had some bigger mans on our team. They have a 1-2 bigger mans in their
Yeah.
back line, but it's just they've been there, yo. They,
technique and experience, bro.
These guys are in the
Technique and
finals.
experience trump all.
Yeah, if you're in the finals in 2018, you can't just get slapped up by a team that's just in the
So
World Cup
how does this
first time.
look for Canada's team in the future, in the next World
it's
Cup?
Beautiful, bro.
4 years
It
from
looks
now.
bright, yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's brighter than maple syrup on a January day.
Yeah.
We still have one of the best teams on our continent, which means we'll most likely be finding ourselves into more World Cups.
The thing is, the young players that we have are going to grow into different,
Into old players.
They're not even old. They're going to
It's
get
only
into
4
their
years.
prime, bro.
Yeah, and they're gonna inspire
Perfect
newer,
timing.
younger
Exactly.
players
True.
with the same skill set.
And it's supposed to be held here, too. So it's like, yo, that should be like
What?
extra boost.
For real? The next one?
Yeah, it's going to be
What?
here in
Where?
the States and
Toronto?
Mexico.
Yeah.
So Toronto, Vancouver.
Where in
Someplace.
Toronto?
They might be making a new location.
Brampton.
They're doing something.
Can you imagine? Brampton.
In the ends.
If they, oh my god, I couldn't even think about that. I mean,
Imagine how traffic would be.
You just
after
can't go
that.
outside, bro. You might get might be trouble. Speaking of which, like a lot of the, I don't know about the percentage of the people on the Canadian team are from Brampton. But like, a decent amount, right?
Bro.
7 mans.
Jeez, 7 mans from B Town.
7 mans from B Town.
It's
That's
unbelievable.
incredible.
Bro, that's where all the talent is for all sports. I don't care anyone
But
says.
that's
what the town is.
that's sort of what I wanted to get into briefly on this next topic, using this World Cup as a segue, because Brampton represents the World Cup in this situation. Is what is with all the Brampton slander?
Yo,
Do you know what I mean?
it's ridiculous. Imagine just getting us like every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Just
You know,
'cause,
like
And me, I'm just like, I want to get a T-shirt made that says, "We're not Scarborough."
we're not Scarbs.
Like people want to talk shit about Brampton, but and like to forget about like Scarborough existing.
yeah, but like
It's like, yo, Scarbs.
Like
There's a reason why it's called Scarbs.
it's true. I mean, yeah, I can't. Right.
Because you go there and you get scars.
You get scarred, bro. You want that
Get scarred, bro.
But like aside from all like the the other boroughs and shit like that, like we essentially produce the most talent, whether it be artistry wise or
Sports.
athletic wise. There's no denying that. But yet we still get fucking shit on because of what happens in the city quite often, mostly
Bullshit.
relating to fucking vehicles and
regularly, bro.
Some violence.
and shit.
Nah, 410 is demon land, bro. I hate driving.
And
on 410.
Violence.
I just feel like unless you've like experienced living in a certain spot,
Facts.
you can't, it doesn't really give you the credence to shit on the place.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's like me shitting on Mexico City or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck Mexico.
you know what I mean?
For
Like
no reason.
I would like that's literally on my bucket list. One of my bucket list places
Just
to
to
go.
shit on Mexico City.
No.
I want to go there so I can shit on him.
No. But like
You got a
obviously
shit list?
like Mexico City has its negatives and positives like
Like
it's-
any
it's-
city.
Yeah.
like any city. But does that give me the right to be like, yo, Bills, fuck Mexico City, bro?
Yo, if you
Fuck where
want
you're
to.
from. Like say you were from Mexico,
yeah.
Mexico City.
Especially not if you haven't fully experienced it. And
Especially
going there
if you-
going there one time
Yeah,
for a
that
couple
doesn't-
days
no,
doesn't do it. And reading headlines about it
No.
doesn't do it because you're only
It's
reading
just
particular
Thank you.
headlines because
It's-
the only newsworthy things
Are negative.
are negative.
And
Bunch
it's
of
just
bullshit.
forming and supporting a bias. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I low key think that dudes or people who fucking shit on Brampton, who have no experience with living here, who have no connections here, are low key
They're
racist.
waste mans and racist.
I got a question.
Do you
though.
agree with that?
I definitely agree with that.
Because obviously, like,
I mean, I hear a lot of racist things.
it's a
about it.
minority. It's a minority demographic in Brampton.
They get it. The brown man's hard, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's statistics.
But it's not only brown man's out here. There's bare
That's
man's
what I'm
out here,
saying.
bro.
It's
Yeah.
bare man. It's multicultural. It's the most multicultural
It's the
city.
biggest
next to
shit,
Toronto.
man. Sleep on how big Brampton actually is, bro.
Let me ask you
It's not
guys
small.
this, okay?
All right.
We were talking about how there's just so much talent that comes out of here.
Yeah.
I tend to think good things come out of turmoil.
Yeah. No.
the whole
I agree.
idea
I
of
agree
like
with that.
if you are going to get muscular, you have to go through pain in order to get that.
Pressure
You have to
makes
want
it
that
time.
pain.
Yeah.
Whereas like I guess what I'm getting at is, do you think the reason why so much excellence is coming out of Brampton is
Excellence.
because of that perception that this is a fucked up place and everyone struggles here and everyone's kind of needs to find, and that perception builds this idea of like you need to work yourself harder so you can get out of Brampton.
So that's I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from, but I disagree.
I'd like to stay.
I don't think it's because of what's going on or how it developed. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're, Chicago, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that's a much
Southside
bigger
Chicago,
city,
you know what I mean? Like you hustle to get out of Chicago because it's either, to be realistic,
die,
it's like
bro.
crime.
Yeah.
You're like, do or die.
I don't mean like literally.
Yeah.
but-
I just think that the reason why I think it produces so much excellence is one, because of the multiculturalism.
Yes.
Okay, so the
100%.
demographic is it's all over the place.
Because all kinds of ideas everywhere. and
All
you're
kind of
exposed to
ideas,
them.
all kind of experience, all kind of cultures.
And it's not
mashing
it's not the
together.
media. It's like things like being in schools, being in workplaces,
Yeah,
being
100%.
in
It's just like
communities.
it's like
That's where
there's a running joke that I always make. How it's like every Brampton man can freestyle. That's because
Every single one
that's
can.
because that's because in high school, growing up, we were surrounded by mans who were just
Spitters.
spitting.
Yeah.
That's just what it was.
Facts.
and
it's not
we
like,
were part of the transitionary period where hip hop became like the top chart pop music in a way. Not pop music, but you know what I mean.
100%.
It took pop music and its popularity.
100%. So what I'm saying is that we weren't surrounded by just country music or just rock and roll music. It's like if you were to grow up in somewhere like fucking Brantford or something like that.
Yeah, you know what it
right?
is.
In Brampton, it's completely different.
This is Bradford.
Yeah.
I also think that because the majority, like this is one of the places where families migrate to or immigrate from different countries. You sort of, they bring along that hustlers mentality type of
That
thing.
too, yeah.
You have to.
I personally myself grew up with that.
Big time.
So it's just a combination of those two. You
Yeah.
can have either or and still produce talent
Yeah.
from a city, of course. But the combination of those two is sort of what makes it exponential in our case.
The thing I like the most about what's going on right now is like we're actually getting the notice when it comes down to their talent of what we're producing. Because back in the day, we didn't really have like a outlet to show people what we're all about.
Yeah.
Like even when I was younger, like there's a lot of good soccer players that didn't make it for the simple fact that there wasn't an outlet.
Right.
Now, like for example, there's TFC.
Yeah.
Right. The
True.
TFC and all these different academy teams that are sending kids out to the States has changed the scope of like what we can produce. And ironically, Brampton's a big like playground of where all these kids are coming from.
Well, part of it is also the development system. So with what you're
that's
talking about,
huge.
with
That's
the infrastructure growing, the development systems, and people, like maybe those guys who didn't get their chance, they're the ones that are like, you know what, fuck this, let's get this popping. So the same shit doesn't happen to the younger generations. Let me pay it forward.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Good
I that's integral into the development and to the production of talent. And,
I'll give you an example. One thing I know Brampton's pretty good for as well is volleyball.
Yeah, we have a lot.
I never knew that.
Yeah, like
Bro, a lot of
our
good
volleyball.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, facts.
I would say just a shout out to you guys know Daniel. My friend Daniel. His I think it was his senior boys.
Yeah. Okay.
Just won RAPSA. Yeah.
Interesting.
Are they going to OPSA?
I have no idea. I just know they won RAPSA.
Interesting.
No, so
Right.
I mentioned that just because I know him and his brothers, or his brother, they have been like very, very integral in like the ground roots of helping growing it not only in high schools, but all like high schools in the GTA, but also like in like the outside of it type of realm, the development stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
So
That's like
congratulations to Daniel and his boys.
let's get it.
Yeah.
Actually, on that note, I got two of my homies from my gym fighting on Saturday. I'm
say
gonna come
word.
out there to support them.
They're fighting each other?
No.
Okay. That'd be fuck.
You don't fight mans from the same gym.
Fight for a
For your
placement.
team.
That'd be
That was the point I was making earlier.
fight for your placement.
We don't fight mans on our teams.
100%. So
No, sometimes.
yeah, I've been helping them
They can
train
get on
and
your
shit.
nerves.
So it's like part of me is gonna be there with them, but it's basically like you get dudes from other gyms from around the GTA coming together and fighting each other. It's like Street Fighter.
Street Fighter
Or like Pokemon. Yeah, it's fucking dope.
Like
it's,
Pokemon.
it's like, yo, this shit is crazy.
I rate it.
But yeah, like the idea where a kid from Brampton can take, an idea or a passion or an activity and just blossom with it over time and then just become huge at it, like making a ton of cash, becoming pro, whatever it is. Legendary status.
It's a flex.
Yeah.
It's a flex. And they always diss us and they don't even know that we're just flexing on them.
Yeah. That's why low key, that's why I don't need, the clapbacks aren't necessary. Clapbacks aren't necessary. Bro. I just let the other people do the
We're the man's and Peterborough saying in all
I feel like there's
places.
like a touch of jealousy in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know.
It's like they want to be us, but they don't want to be
us.
us.
That's what I'm saying.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand that concept forever.
It's almost like if you're a Brampton man's.
Yeah.
It's like you're a character.
Yeah. We get such a bad rap. It's just like, be careful when you're driving through Brampton. Like, brother, I've been driving through here.
It's literally like a race.
32 years. Sorry, like, I hope I don't jinx this, but I've been driving here for 32 years and never once been in an incident.
Facts.
Not in Brampton. I've never been in one in Brampton.
Not in Brampton.
I've only ever been hit in Toronto.
I've seen them consistently.
On a regular
here,
basis.
But you know what I mean? It's just like
week.
that's a whole black market type of shit where man, it just goes back to the hustlers mentality type of, know what I mean?
There's some plays being made out here by some
mans are just trying to get it by any means necessary.
Oops, did I hit you?
Yeah. But yeah.
Man's
so when somebody facts. But like, when somebody says like all this slander and shit, I have the perfect rebuttal for it every time because they can't say shit about it.
Okay, you want me to talk shit about Brampton so you can say it?
Nah, you don't need to say it. I just tell them that it provided my family a place to immigrate from a third world country, and now everybody in my family owns their own home because of it.
What it is,
you know what I mean?
What it gives business is.
Yeah, they're literally in a better situation by moving here.
Yeah,
how can you hate on that? You can't. That's why no matter what happens in this city, all the fuckery that goes on, deep down inside my heart, it will always have a place for me because it provided my family that opportunity.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, let's go ground deeper. Like, I'll always be grateful for it because I've made incredible friends from being here.
That's true.
Lifelong friends.
Family.
It's true.
Family. Exactly.
That's true. It's very true.
And I'm like a hybrid in it too, because on the one side I definitely have the white privilege. And then the other side, my dad was an immigrant. My dad's family did come here from Scotland, like when he was young.
Back then,
and he built himself. Like, the reason why I have everything I have is because my dad used.
There you go.
Where he was, and we came here, and he built himself up from there.
That's it.
So. It's exactly what you're saying. You can talk shit about whatever, and nobody and nothing is fucking perfect, but.
It's very into racism anyway, too.
To make a judgment on something that you don't even fully understand or fully experience, it's like anything in this world.
Yeah. You must know you're wrong.
You're literally just being ignorant.
You must know you're wrong. Like, somebody slanders our city. Since when have I ever heard you or myself slander their city? We don't, because we don't know
Scarborough.
We don't know shit about this
Scarborough.
City, you know what I'm saying?
I only talk shit about Scarborough, and and to be realistic, and I'm sorry, Scarborough, but it's just because you know what? Now I feel ignorant because of what we just discussed. Okay. I learned something.
One thing I could give about Scarborough.
That's what we're about. Education, people.
Bro, the one thing about Scarborough I could give is their restaurants and their food there is elite.
Poppin'.
It's elite.
Poppin'. Because of they got multicultural.
Because of diversity.
Fair man's from everywhere.
It's elite. Yeah.
You want like Ethiopian food? You want like Pakistani food?
Yeah.
Ethiopian food is really good. It's all like, I feel like it's like handsy food. Like you use your hands for most everything.
Yeah. I will say though, and I'm gonna stop doing it. Listen, Scarborough people, I'm gonna stop doing it.
To all our Scarborough listeners,
I've only ever.
We love y'all.
I don't know if I've only ever, but I've mostly only picked on Scarborough as a defense for Brampton.
Man's are deflected.
Because in my opinion, which I have now realized is ignorant of me to have, because of what we all explain. It's stupid. I don't fucking go to Scarborough enough to know that shit. I base my opinion based on stories people have told me about Scarborough, things I've seen.
Man's from Scarborough.
But that's just, hearsay.
That's exactly it. And like I said, this was a learning experience for me because I just realized my own ignorance in that.
Wasn't Pangs from Scarborough?
I wouldn't be surprised. Isn't he locked up?
I don't know. I think so. Young Pango, dog. I rate him.
Yeah, there's a lot of like trap artists from Scarbs. I think that's like the breeding ground
Yeah.
for trap
I
artists.
feel like there's more like beat makers here than there are artists.
Beat makers, R&B.
Yeah,
Mm.
big time.
We run that game.
Yeah, easily. Like
We
a
just
lot
some
of
fucking producing, singing
Boys to
motherfuckers.
man.
Like,
so
yo,
they know.
Yeah.
they don't like the reason why we're not releasing our debut R&B album is because we don't want to fucking make Drake and The Weeknd go out of
Yeah.
business.
Yo,
and
I don't want Drake hitting me up like, yo, dog, what are you dealing
Yeah,
with, bro?
fam.
But to
It's
be
not-
honest
putting
with
that
the
shit out there,
listeners,
Yeah.
to be honest with them, the listeners, if we did put out an R&B album, it'd be fucking amazing because
It took number one.
we
for
spit bars and we record
Bear
them.
auto-tune.
80 weeks.
Better auto-tune.
Can understand.
Whenever we freestyle and we end up making like some sort of R&B track,
Yeah.
it's not only fucking groovy and sick and
Always.
everything,
Oh, it's
but it's
always
also
a lead.
fucking kind of funny
Yeah.
too.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a lead at all
Yeah.
times.
And
So-
Boys to Man Them, like
This is
it would actually be so good.
This
if
is
we did
a
it.
statistical fact actually that I learned the other day. Every time we freestyle an R&B track, the world's population increases by at least
Easily.
3%.
Babies get
Bear
made.
baby making music, bro.
Yeah, like I read that on the fucking-
It's ridiculous, bro.
The all black track.
I
that's
couldn't
an R&B
believe it.
thing.
Yo.
but
There's a conspiracy to stop us, bro, for population
true.
control and shit. But you know,
Facts.
can't stop us. We out.
can't stop it. So
we should release a Boys to Man Them.
I'm down. But at the end of the day, yeah, B-Town. Fact.
100%.
As long as you know, bro.
905 TGR 905.
Hey.
You know?
Ah. But yeah, yo.
But yeah, on some deeper, weirder shit.
Let's go.
That guy's been waiting for
Bro, I've been waiting. If we want to go into some weird shit,
Let's get
get into
weird.
some weird
this.
shit.
Trying to get weird tonight, bro. This guy's trying to go
get-
deep and weird, bro. I kind of down. I'm
don't even-
curious.
I don't know, dude.
I'm curious. Are you not curious?
I'm curious as fuck. But you know,
But no. Like, have you heard about like the Balenciaga photo shoots recently and how like they're linked to fucking pedophilia?
oh.
I did not hear about
Yo,
this.
I saw a post on Instagram about some shit about that still, and they had to take down they did like, I forgot what they did. They did something, but it was like, yo, mad off, bro. Like,
Yeah. Anyways,
shady as
like
fuck.
Mod
just
off.
I don't want to get too much into detail about it
Like
because
what type of
I
topics?
don't know much about it. Plus, it's kind of a depressing topic.
I'm depressed.
But so basically, Balenciaga did this like recent, I guess.
Hold on. For me, because I'm a fucking retard, what
Yeah,
the fuck
this
is
is true.
Balenciaga?
Balenciaga is just a
What?
designer. It's a
Yeah.
designer clothing
Them
brand.
things love them
Bro,
things, fam.
Uniqlo,
Ah,
American Eagle, Saks,
Ah.
Saks,
Saks
well,
Fifth?
sometimes
Saks for
American
your
Saks with or Saks
But
off?
you know what?
Underwear.
There's
Uniqlo,
difference.
Saks,
Huh.
Under Armour socks,
sure.
TGR
Real
hoodies.
specific.
Ah, that's it.
That's hard. I rate it. So.
Actually,
That's all I wear.
no, I rate that because I have to dress a little bit more business casual now.
Oh yeah.
I've been getting into like Frank and Oak. Frank and Oak
Okay.
makes really, really good quality shit. A little bit on the pricey side, but it's worth it if it's gonna last fucking time.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always been like a Lulu type of guy. Lululemon
Lululemon.
pants, 5-year pants.
Yeah.
We call them
So is it Valenciaga or Balenciaga?
Let's go that beat.
Balenciaga.
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 Okay, Balenciaga is some sort of fashion designer.
It's a designer brand. It's
A
just a brand.
It's a designer brand that people pay stupid money for.
Wow.
Ridiculous amounts for.
Insane amounts.
Like, what's the type of person who would wear
Rappers.
Balenciaga? Okay.
rappers
rappers,
and thoughts?
Actors or actresses or whatever. Just
Okay.
rich people who are flamboyant and
sugar babies.
love opulence. This is essentially what it is. And because their shit is
Opulence
butt
a fun
ugly.
word. All right. So,
But anyways, so they were
there's a
doing a
photo
photo
shoot.
shoot for, I guess, for their new line.
Fucking weird.
what's the line called?
I don't give a
Pedo
I don't-
life.
Who cares? But anyways,
Geppetto.
it was weird because they would
Predator.
they would they would take pictures of like kids, aged probably they were probably like 4 or 5 years old,
That's fine.
dressed in Balenciaga, I'm presuming,
Sure.
seemingly, kosher, but it's the stuff that's around them in terms of like the set design. It's just like bondage material.
The fuck?
Wait, you said the models in it are really young?
They're like 5 years old,
bro.
Okay.
but
And-
they're dressed
Let me speak proper English.
right.
shit,
But
bro.
anyways, there's documents and like books on like the table that like have a direct link to pedophiles or like sex trafficking cases and stuff like that.
And do you know like more detail about that, or is it just more? This is like you have a summary of it.
So that's essentially the summary.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of material.
We can leave a link.
They came out with like a formal apology. They're like, "Oh, my bad. We didn't mean to include
Sorry,
that."
I forgot that this is wrong.
Well, you know what I mean?
We'll drop a link in the description if you want to check that out.
But they're just getting a whole lot of backlash because it's fucking weird. Like I remember there's this one picture. It was of a lady though, like, you know, grown ass lady.
Yeah.
She's got her feet kicked up, you know, coroner office, high heels on.
Hell yeah.
But then there's a book on like the corner of the table, and it has the title of the book, and it was a photo shoot done by this, you know, artist, avant-garde artist, and it's just of like naked children like screaming and shit like that. It's weird, super fucking weird stuff. Yeah.
We don't fuck with that shit.
So, you know, like people are just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, money laundering, sex trafficking, pedophilia. I'm not trying to jump into conclusions. That's no place for me to do that right now. But the reason why I mentioned that is like Balenciaga. Kanye West had huge ties to Balenciaga recently before I think he left the brand.
Oh, Bearman has cut ties with him.
Or something like that. Because like Kim Kardashian was like huge into that, and she was getting her kids to model for Balenciaga.
Bro. She's waste.
And you know, in some of Kanye's songs, you know, Kanye would be like, "Yo, like, keep my kids away from the devil," type of shit.
Why you have to wipe up that hoe for, man? Fuck. I used to love me some Kanye.
So it's just one fucking weird circle jerk of conspiracy and what else is new? What else is new?
But the thing is, like, did they really think they're gonna sneak it under people's noses?
I don't fuck with
like,
it.
look how nosy everyone is.
Honestly,
nowadays.
I think people were saying it's like intentional.
Of course, it isn't. Oh, so they don't give a fuck anymore, is what you're saying?
Well, haven't you heard of the thing like what the Illuminati has to do?
Oh yeah, as if to show everything.
They have to essentially give us
messages.
Like, have to show us what they're doing.
Yeah.
For karmic purposes.
Which is
it's like, yo, if I show you, bro, don't be like, yo,
I gave you the message. If you didn't decipher it, that's on you.
That's a bar.
And you could find that. You can find evidence of that dating back time.
I murder people when I drive my car. So if you hop it in the whip, you know what time it is.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, you know, it's like, you know, when you give somebody advice and you're like, but I don't know. So, you know what I mean? One of them ones, you know? And you just rub your hands.
So, yo, I'd shank him up still, but I don't know, bro. It's up to you.
You know what I mean? Let me ask you guys.
That's the best way I can interpret it.
What would you do if you discovered a pedo ring?
I'd shut it down.
Oh my god, bro!
How would you shut it down?
Man.
I don't snitch, but I would snitch on that, bro. Those are little.
I would snitch on it, but I also wouldn't necessarily trust snitching on it's gonna stop it. I would low key, if I had like nothing to live for,
some Jason Bourne shit.
I'd fucking murder.
I'd murder a pedo.
Like,
we going all the way down.
I'd murder the pedos.
Straight to it tonight.
Like vigilante.
Yeah,
that's right. The Batman.
And you know what? They're trying to get us to. They're trying to get us to a world with this whole woke. Like the funny. It's kind of ironic with the whole like woke and gender ideology thing. Is like now they're trying to get like pedophilia as a thing, as a sexual orientation. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what. There's an actual. They've given it some sort of euphemism now.
It's funny that you mentioned that, though, but I did listen to this podcast where they mentioned that I'm not trying to support this because, you know, there's very few things that I get fucked up about, and that's one of them. Like, I can see like dismembered bodies and war crimes and shit, but when it comes to like little children stuff, it's just like, bro, I can't. It doesn't sit well in my stomach, bro. It's just like I see red.
It's rage, bro.
I see red.
That's what I'm saying, and I can't put it in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
To fucking deal with it. Yeah. I need to see it to the end.
Only if they have the same views. If they're like, yo, this shit. Yeah. But even then,
no, but you can't trust nobody. That's the thing, because you don't know.
No, but but you have to, because there are people out there whose responsibility is to do this.
Okay, but if I tell the person whose responsibility is to do this and he's fucking either in their pocket
Yeah.
or she is in their pocket, who no discrimination, or they them, whatever, whoever.
This guy pulls out
If they're in their pocket, I'm gonna get fucked, and I'm not gonna get it stopped.
Yeah, I feel like no, I get it. At every aspect of life, there is corruption,
Big
no
time.
matter what.
And everything.
This is no sideline of that. Like this is no, you know what I'm saying. But I listened to this really good podcast about I think it was called Warhead. It's basically one of those series podcasts where they like investigative journalism, like they go into depth about certain cases.
So like we kind of used to do sometimes too.
That's what we're doing right now.
No,
essentially investigative journalists.
I mean more so when we'd have a fully themed episode.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah,
I actually love that shit. But anyways,
I'm down to bring it back. Maybe in shorter doses. Conspiracies, bro. I think we need to get back into conspiracies. I know we do it like naturally.
I think we do it every episode.
I think we do it naturally, but I think we need to like
go hard on that shit.
Okay, so but anyways,
get banned in this bitch.
There was a podcast about this gentleman who
what's the podcast name again?
I think it's called Warhead
or something.
Yeah. It's about investigative journalism.
Okay.
And then they talk about this case of this Canadian guy, of course,
not from Brampton,
who was a huge like trafficker of that kind of material through the internet.
Okay.
In the black market.
People or underage people?
Way underage.
Jesus.
Oh,
way underage.
That's far.
Like when I was
we
listening,
need more beer.
when I was listening to it, bro, I was like, oof.
I'm getting cheese right now.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll keep it quick. Essentially, it just showed the process of how the feds caught him, and like how, like what their job consists of. And I was like, God damn, you got to be a special type of person to do this job.
Yeah.
Because, but the thing is, it's essential. We need people like that.
Yeah.
And there will always be people like that. But like, it's kind of like swept under the rug how underappreciated that kind of shit is, because
100%.
sex trafficking, whether underage or, you know, women or slave labor, it's like one of the highest grossing industries in the black market today.
Yep.
Like we talk, like, you know, the whole thing with building the stadium in Qatar.
That shit's crazy.
Built on slave labor.
It was like
You know what I
6,500 people died or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
I was watching this
Crazy.
documentary on YouTube, how essentially they would sponsor, in quotations, like, you know,
Draft.
very poverty-stricken men from Nepal, Pakistan, India, China, and shit, and they'd be like, "Yo, do you want to make bare cash doing a construction job?" Obviously, they're like, "Yeah, like
why not?
obviously, like nothing
Money.
much is going on here." So they're like, "Okay, send me $10,000. We'll send you over here. You'll work. You'll make the money. We'll send you back home." But you know, the thing with the sponsorship is that you're already in debt when you go to
Before
work
you
there,
start.
because you already owe them $10,000.
That 10 bands.
The
Just to work.
vast majority of those people cannot pay $10,000 in cash up front to get sponsored. They have to work for it first.
Yup. So it's slave labor, basically.
The slave labor, essentially, and they were getting paid a lot.
Yeah, of course.
There's no conditions, no regulations. Mans were dying of heat stroke.
Like crazy, too.
There's like 30 mans to like one dorm, right?
30 cents a day
Just a
and shit.
hole in the fucking floor to shit, to piss. You know, it's just, it's mud. No food.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but that's all comes down to the corruption in FIFA, man. They see this shit and they just point a blind eye to it. Like, okay, well, is the cash coming in? Okay, bless.
Yeah,
So
that's the
do what
thing,
you gotta
man.
do.
I was thinking about this driving the other day. I was like,
moves the world.
capitalism is great,
Bro.
you know, especially in our industry, you know. But
Big time.
capitalism is also fucking.
Deadly.
Look at what it does to the world, bro.
Yeah,
it just
deadly, bro.
makes the world a shitty place.
Look at
Yeah,
Brazil,
you know what?
bro.
You
They
know
haven't
what?
recovered.
I want us to get a nice little notification saying that we're putting out misinformation. But on that topic right there, I want to talk about something really fucking concerning that happened to me a couple days ago. So I'm in the garage smoking a grabba spliff.
Okay. You're listening to tunes.
No,
Were you wearing a
I
hat?
decided to listen to the radio 590 because I haven't been listening to Fan
Some
590
hockey
for a while.
boy stuff.
No, I wanted to hear what they were saying about the World Cup. I think it was either the day before or the day after Canada's first game. Fucking 680 news break comes on. Brought to you by fucking Pfizer. Brought to you by Pfizer. I was like, yo,
This guy's going in.
When the fuck did this start happening in Canada, bro? I ain't never.
Yeah.
I thought pharmaceutical companies cannot fucking advertise here. What the fuck is going on with that? First of all, that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number two, to bring it back to what we were talking about how capitalism is great and all. Capitalism is great at all, but let's
in theory,
let's look at fucking the people that gave us these miracle vaccines. Go get your 5th shot because people are still getting fucking sick, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, those same companies that made this thing that haven't been studying this formula of said vaccine for so long. Sorry to bring that up again, people, if you forgot. But those same fucking companies in the past have fucking put profit ahead of people's health numerous times. And guess what? Sometimes they got caught, had to pay out a big suit.
Billions, but yeah.
But you know what? They still made billions of profits. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly why they made that move. Because their job, their goal, the only thing they focus on because of how this system is set up is making a profit, making a bigger profit, making the margins grow higher. Yeah. There is no stagnancy. There is no, we made a lot of money last year and we made the same money this year. That's great. Like, we're still making a consistent, fantastic income. Nope.
We're going to
that
need more.
Number needs to go up. It needs to inflate.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's no room for, it's still, this drug has this terrible side effect that fucking gives people blood clots or whatever.
Blood clot.
Okay. And you don't think they have fucking contingency planning with like everything about this going into it, knowing, okay, what's the risk reward of this? Because if we do this, it's not ready, we get caught, okay, we pay out this settlement, we lose maybe this amount and that. But then in the long run, overall, we've still made this $1 billion profit, which hits the margins and targets we're trying to hit. And to be fair to them, they're not looking at it how the person who's not involved with it is looking at it. We're looking at it like, oh, you're putting your profit margins ahead of my health, where they're looking at it as, this is just business. Yeah. This is the best decision for my business.
Of course.
Capitalism, baby.
Capitalism, the son of a bitch,
real, bro.
I'm sorry. I said before we even came into this, I was ready. I've been ready to talk bear shit.
Guy's been holding it in,
bro. I haven't been ranting. I haven't ranted on anything in so long.
Yeah. No, I hear you. But the thing is, back to capitalism and back to Kanye West, actually, to tie those two things together. I saw a clip of him where, you know that where they froze his money, right? He couldn't go to the bank and shit. So he started supporting cryptocurrency. That's a different story. But anyways, he told the interviewer, he's like, yo, if they can freeze my money for essentially saying what I want to say for free speech, think about what they can do to the regular American or the regular person.
Destroy their life.
You know what I'm saying?
Easily.
And there was an example of that recently when the trucking convoy was occurring.
Yeah.
Trudeau froze those people's bank accounts, right? Highly illegal.
Super
should be
illegal.
in fucking
That's treason. High treason.
Jail, bro. You know what I mean?
It's a war crime in a way.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
High treason.
That's waging war on citizens
on your own people. But
use your livelihood.
What he said, it really resonated. He's like, yo, I can't fucking. And then there was examples of that where, people, although they're highly controversial in their opinion, some other more than not, like Alex Jones, for instance.
I love Alex Jones. Not that I agree with everything Alex Jones says. He's just fucking funny.
Yeah.
That guy.
So they froze his money. And they're like, yo, you owe us like $15 billion or something ridiculous.
He owes stupid money for the Sandy Hook thing.
For this Sandy Hook comments. Okay. And then who else? There was another dude.
I think he also said a lot of other shit too.
Yeah, but free speech, brother.
He exposed. Didn't he expose fucking? What's that thing? The Grove.
Oh, Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove. I'm pretty sure he exposed that.
I think
shit.
that's what propelled him to like.
He's been on this path for a long time.
Superstardom.
You know what I mean?
That shit was crazy.
But yeah, Andrew Tate, I think they froze his accounts too because he was like, they froze his social media. You know what I mean? So you could also make the debate.
Well, I don't know if it was done by rich and powerful. It was more done by like backlash, which is just fucking ridiculous because he never. I don't think he ever said anything that harmful.
I think it was like more like different organizations and like feminists and things like that.
I think Twitter suspended his account. I think that's a huge fucking conglomerate.
But like my boy,
they're saying he was misogynistic.
Took over, right?
The best example,
Elon Musk.
The best example of that Andrew Tate thing was that. So he got suspended for saying like misogynistic stuff apparently, and whatever other things they said. He was endangering people's mental health, whatever you want to call it.
Endangering people's mental health.
There's literally like a video that was circulating online of like some girl saying like, "Fuck you, Andrew Tate. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna peg you." Like if he threatened rape.
Isn't that like rape?
Yeah, that's threatening rape.
It is.
That video didn't get taken down. The person who posted that, the person who created that.
But why would it?
They never got taken down.
Yeah, it doesn't fit the agenda.
But why would it? Because like
it's the double standard of the difference between men and women.
Even that, bro. I just feel like when you're speaking a little bit of truth that are kind of like that's when you get shut down. If you're just talking straight nonsense, that's what's pushed the most.
Yeah.
100%.
So like, you know what I mean?
100%.
It's like yo, read between the lines. At the end of the day, it's like man's getting mad at this man. I don't know the full extent of what he's saying, but I assume it's some shit that hit people is like, you know.
I'm not a fan of Andrew Tate either.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't fucking know the dude. I don't know any of his stuff.
Yeah.
But
I don't really care for him.
To me, it's just like
I don't get it.
Anytime somebody gets canceled, for saying something, you always gotta.
There's some undertones to some
exactly.
Always.
You gotta listen to the other side.
Well, that's exactly the way I look at it. Is that like, listen. And this is a very unpopular opinion that I have, but like, if someone wants to be a fucking racist, that is up to them. They're the ones who are allowed to have that perception. And you can ask them questions about it. You can try and argue them, whatever. But you can't really censor someone. I don't think it makes sense. Like they're allowed to have that opinion and express it. And the only way they're ever going to change that is by speaking,
by being challenged.
Exactly, being challenged and speaking those things in like a circle where everyone can weigh in and all the different ideas can come together. The perfect example is that guy, I always forget his name. He's a blues singer who's been on Joe Rogan. He's turned like something like 50 KKK Klansmen. He's like made them renounce the Klan just by having conversations with them.
Yeah. Well, like, there's a lot of repercussions for your actions, no matter what it is, right? Even if you don't mean something a certain way or if you have different views, there's always people that are going to hold you accountable to some shit you say. Even though it's like, yo, we have this freedom of speech, but we don't. We don't have freedom of speech. That doesn't
freedom
exist.
of speech isn't free anymore.
No, it's not.
Especially,
we don't even have freedom of choice.
Exactly.
It's true.
Because the fact of the matter is we're giving choices. When you're given choices, it's a limited number of choices. It's not unlimited choices. That's not freedom. Freedom is an unlimited amount of choices.
Bro, freedom isn't free. And nowadays, even for those who are rich who can afford freedom, it's still not free for them either. If they go against status quo.
Yeah.
So it's like at the end of the day, you're going to be put in a situation, bro.
Especially when you have like a huge like platform or following. It gets a little deeper, like the thing that happened with Kyrie, right?
Yeah.
He just
posted a link.
Posted a link. Apparently it's promoting
That's some
something.
bullshit, bro.
Which, you know, it is kind of like gray area type of thing. You know, I know, bro. Trust me.
If I post a picture of like Jason Voorhees
on my
fucking thing, doesn't mean
you're not Kyrie, bro.
That's true.
You're not Kyrie.
But like, I don't know. So how I see it is like, if he posted some ignorant shit on World Star, no one's gonna say a damn thing.
You don't know that.
No, it would get picked up. It would get picked up by the news outlets, bro.
It'd be somebody. Somebody will
pick it up. They share it.
So you tell me he puts a video out of World Star, something very ignorant. They're gonna make him do all these 5 steps and do all this shit.
Yeah, because it would still become a story, dude. It would still become a story.
I don't think so.
No. So it would be shared by. It would still be picked up. It would still be newsworthy,
bro.
Because it's newsworthy, it'll still find its way in the cycle. I'm not saying Kyrie would post that post there. People would still be.
No, I know what you're saying.
People would still be.
I agree.
People would still be reacting to his World Star post on the other platform.
Bro, how I see
that's what they do. It's still part of the public narrative because who he is.
Say there's 2 men fighting over a cheeseburger.
Wait, what? Was he posting it anonymously?
No, it's him. He just put down. Under he just puts on like niggas or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Controversial as fuck.
Yeah, I don't think
that's actually my Twitter handle.
It's not going to be as crazy.
No, definitely not. No, I agree.
Which is still both wild.
I agree with that because the thing about, you know, this time that we're living in, they pick and choose.
Exactly.
what
you have to
problem.
fit the narrative.
what the outrage is. Okay,
That's
like
the problem.
I get it. Like you put like two, like if Kyrie were to post like two black guys fighting,
Yeah.
nobody would say any words about it. Or like when
Yeah.
Kanye said, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Like
Yeah. Well, one
Or
of
when, you
one
know-
of my favorite examples from the NBA itself is, I'm pretty sure this happened. So like, let's take example when what was his name? Donald Sterling owned the Clippers. He said that shit about Magic Johnson.
That was
wait, what
so
did you say again?
like-
I'm not gonna repeat what he said.
Somehow,
Phils
like,
can maybe repeat. I
what
can't
was it
remember.
like? Don't bring those niggas or
Oh yes, I remember that. I
around
remember
there or
that.
something like
And he was
games.
saying
He was talking about his
the
girlfriend, right?
yeah, and talking about the perception of him being around that type of person. It was like, okay, she said some ignorant shit. Let's just say that, okay?
It's hilarious,
And
bro.
the reason why I bring that up is because
Skate it off.
so what happened was at a recent like courtside game, a bunch of like Jews,
Bunch of Jewish people.
people,
Kyrie.
they bought courtside tickets.
Say no to anti-Semitism.
They had some sort of like say no to anti-Semitism,
Sorry,
no
bro.
anti-Semitism, some sort of message of that kind, and they're wearing the t-shirts and they're all there, obviously probably heckling him or whatever. But it's like, yo, that's literally the slap in the face, and the example of the difference there is that they can afford to do that.
Facts.
Whereas when the Donald Sterling thing happened,
It's true.
Super
who
fast.
could have,
Absolutely right.
you know what I mean? Anyone who would have been on that side of the argument to truly represent
Yeah.
from like, sure, a bunch of fucking rich white people and celebrities could have bought those things and wore the t-shirts, but just regular everyday people,
Yeah.
black community can't do that.
Yeah.
And why is that? Maybe because
How it's structured.
man's not talking shit and making up stuff. Maybe the man has sense in what he's saying. He's maybe not saying it the right way, and maybe it's not the total side of the story, but to completely shut it all down as if it's all bullshit. It's like, yo, there is something to learn. There is something to take from what he's saying that is real and is not necessarily meant to be taken as fighting words. Is more so you're like, yo, like this is something we should look into, we should talk about, we should figure out a way to make it better for everybody. But everyone gets defensive because the best way to win an argument is to not have an argument at all. But that ain't the world we live in. Not an outrage culture, not in fucking
Cancel culture.
sign up for my fucking team, my fucking tribe, whatever.
Yeah.
Left and right ain't no fucking, well, there's some things that I agree with the left, there's some things I agree with the right, or sometimes they both make sense, so I don't really know what the answer is.
Bring back bullying.
I agree.
Kids are too soft. That's my
No,
Yeah.
my remedy.
They definitely.
no. I think the problem with this world today, and this goes from the youngest to the oldest, is entitlement.
Oh, bro.
And I speak here on this podcast to our devoted listeners, a total hypocrite, because I myself am also entitled. I have tons of moments where when I look back at it, I'm like, oh, I'm just being entitled.
Yeah, but the thing is, recognition is a huge part of it,
Big
of course.
But that's
recognition
part
is
of
a huge part
entitlement.
of it. But the thing
You
is,
feel
like,
entitled to receive recognition.
there's levels of entitlement. There's levels to privilege. You know what I mean? It's like it goes deep and deep and deep. Like, yo, like I recognize my privilege, but I'm more privileged than somebody who's in a wheelchair or something like that. But
Or
that
in
person
third
in the
country
wheelchair is
stuff.
more privileged than the person who's bedridden, yada yada. Like, you know, it's like shadism type of thing. Like, it just, there's levels, there's layers. It will always get deeper.
Yeah, it's a game that you can't fucking win.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's meant to keep people apart, not together.
I think people just need to fucking
Chill,
listen
bro.
more and speak less, bro, and just
Whoa.
observe. Two
What-
ears, one mouth type shit.
What
Like,
people need
People
to learn.
don't listen, they hear. People hear you.
they don't
listen.
listen. Facts.
There's a
People
difference.
practice this thing like it's fake empathy. It's like they're empathetic to certain causes or certain ideas, so that's why they fight for them. But the irony is that in doing that, they're so entrenched in whatever that is that they're fighting for, that they show zero empathy or understanding for what they're fighting against, because they don't look at it from that perspective. They look at it from one perspective only. And when you look at things from one perspective, you're only going to get one answer.
Yeah.
Or you're only going to get one idea. And you know, if let's say fucking anything, you're trying to come up with ideas, and if you only came up with one idea as opposed to coming up with 10 or 20 ideas, odds are you'll find a better idea in that 10 of 20 ideas, or a couple better ideas in that 10 or 20 ideas than you will in just that one idea.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. That's the ignorance, the entitlement.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Definitely. I agree.
You know,
I think this episode is more about cancel culture.
Yeah.
How shitty it is.
You guys know I've been wanting to talk about it for so long.
We've definitely dabbled.
I've just been talking about it in general when I see you guys.
Cancel culture is the dumbest shit of all time, bro.
Cancel.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Cancel,
you give people
man.
too much power, man.
That's the new fucking death.
Yeah, bro.
Getting cancelled, bro. Like, yo.
People need to just learn that it's I've been reading this book. The book I started reading was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah, I read it.
I don't necessarily agree with everything that's being said in it per se, but like with anything, there are lessons within it that you can take and you can kind of form your own opinion on why it's valuable or what's valuable about it. Basically, what people need to realize is that, number one, if you're constantly like thinking about like the reason why people get so outraged is because there's this perception that it's not okay to feel bad. It's not okay to be upset. It's not okay to be angry. It's not okay to be depressed. It's not okay for something to hurt you.
But you need to go through those things. Those emotions that we all have.
Well,
That's
what I'm getting at is people like because they are constantly thinking about those things, they're number one. I think this is called the backwards law. Or I could be fucking this up, but anyways, people are constantly reminding themselves of what they lack because they're always thinking about what they want, what they deserve, which is, to always be happy. You're never always going to be fucking happy. And so that's what I'm getting at, is that those moments where you feel like shit and everything sucks, you need those. You need that pain in order to get to something good. Because if you don't have that, if everything's good, nothing will be good.
Yeah, it's true. Ebbs and flows are the most natural thing in life, highs and lows, bro.
I feel like also social media is screwing us up big time because they're showing this perfect picture of everyone's showing their perfect picture, like their perfect self.
Terrible.
Yeah,
bro.
and
people are trying to chase that, but they don't understand that like half these people are like bums. Half these people do some crazy shit to do what they're like, even be showing what they're showing.
It's the comparison. So again, they talk so far what I've read in the book, they talk about that too in like social media. It's the whole idea of like, it's you get trapped in comparison, and it's like you measure. Let's say one of my goals is I want to be successful. Okay, and when I'm measuring success based on what I see someone else doing or what I see someone else doing, that could make you get depressed because you have the same goal, you have the same value. The value is being successful, but the metric in which you're using to measure that is fucking dumb because you're in a different place, different circumstances than the other person.
Everything's different.
And then there's the arrogance to think that like, oh, that person didn't struggle to get to where they are now.
Yeah.
That it just everything was easy for them. So this is so hard for me. Life's not fair. Like, yo, like,
but like
it's life is, to put it in the metaphor of exercise, like the more pain and struggle you go through with exercise, the better results you're gonna get at the end of the day.
Facts. But like I feel like when it comes down to social media, it doesn't really to break it down. I feel like it hinders more the females rather than the males anyway. Because at the end of the day, like girls are really like, they have that like hive mentality / they see things and they want those particular things for themselves. Right? Yeah. Completely understandable. It's just,
I think it fucks with men too, though.
It does definitely,
100%.
But in different ways.
I think there's more pressure on women with it.
Nah,
for sure.
I think there's more pressure on women. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, because like they see some crazy shit and like say for example a girl gets a different bag, and next girl needs to get that bag, or a girl goes to this person to get their like eyelashes or stuff done like that, and they say, okay, well maybe I can do that because they see it, or even OnlyFans, things like that, right? It is actually a lot of pressure on the females.
Yeah, I think it's on dudes too. Like I think designer shit, cars, fucking body.
I think it's a different thing though.
But I think it just comes down to like what you value at the end of the day. Because like there's like for personally for me, like a lot of dudes, like all the men we know, they don't really care about that shit. I feel like think about it. Yeah, the men that we hang around with and chill with, they don't care about that shit. Like keeping up with the Joneses type foolishness. You know what I mean? No. We're all on our own separate path, and we understand that, and we just kind of link up while we're still on our same path, our own path, which is how it should be. But like the trickery of, you know, these big people like Kim Kardashian and all these big people are pushing all this bullshit on these young girls and fucking their minds up, bro. And like thinking that happiness is something that you can hold, but realistically it's something internal.
And happiness isn't it goes to what I was saying is that happiness isn't like a thing that like I've achieved happiness and I'm here forever. Like no, happiness is momentary.
Exactly.
Like happiness is a feeling you get in a moment. It's not something that can be attained all the time. And what most people will find, if you look back in your life, some of the most happiest moments in your life you had to fucking go through a grind to get to.
That's where the thing is. It's in the journey. It's like you always hear stories where, you know, especially in sports in particular, where they reach like the highest accolades of sports, right? Winning a world championship, you know, doing this, doing that, and then they become depressed after.
Literally, exactly. Right after. What else do you do now?
It's just like, yo, where do I go from here? You know what I mean? It's just like, I've achieved this. Okay. Like there's a really good example. I don't know if you know this guy. His name is Tyson Fury. He's a championship boxer right now, but he made it his goal to beat this guy, this Russian guy, you know, one of the like deadliest dudes back in the day. He beat him, won the championship, became depressed. He tried killing himself on several occasions.
Oh shit!
Gained, I think he got up to 300 something pounds.
That's crazy.
Cocaine, drugs, alcohol. Tried killing himself. Obviously, left his family left him. His friends left him because he was like, "Yo, I worked so hard to get to this point. I achieved it.
Now what?
Where do I go from here?"
Well, it's because he was using the wrong metrics to judge happiness. So
exactly.
I'll give you 2 examples that go exactly with that. Okay. So example number 1 is I can't remember the guy's name, but this guy, he was in a band that was just about to sign a record deal. His band kicked him out. No explanation, no nothing. They just kicked him out.
Which band is this?
I'll get to it.
Okay.
All right. So that guy got kicked out of the band. He was on a mission after that to, you know, create the best band ever and, you know, get his own record deal and be better than that band.
Sounds familiar.
Okay. And so he started his own band. He started another band. He ended up getting a record deal, ended up having all this great success. So he formed the metal group Megadeth.
Okay. Yeah. Megadeth.
Okay.
Megadeth.
Which sold however many million copies, whatever. They're pretty popular.
Yeah.
Problem is,
I've heard their music.
So he's, if you and I were all to look at him, we'd be like, he's successful. Right? This guy formed a band, became world famous, successful. Problem was, the band he got kicked out of was Metallica.
Even more successful.
Which is even more successful.
Substantial.
And so the reason why he's depressed and had all these problems later in life is because his metric to measure happiness was being more successful than Metallica.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you just measure success for what it is rather than being better than Metallica,
you're done out here.
He's successful and he should be happy.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you another story, okay? There's this guy. He was a drummer. He was in a band. That band just signed a record deal, okay? That guy got kicked out of that band. He got super fucking depressed. Just went through a whole bad time after. Especially because that band turned out to be the Beatles. Okay?
Oh, God.
But years later, in life, this guy Pete Best, I think that's his name, he's fucking happy. You know why? because the way he measures success and happiness, because him getting kicked out of that band allowed him to meet his wife, allowed him to create this other life for himself, and he didn't have to deal with a lot of the things he realizes he wouldn't have had to deal with that a lot of the Beatles, who most of which haven't exactly lived particularly amazing lives, 2 of which I believe are dead now.
Yeah.
At least 1 or 2.
I think one of them.
For sure, John Lennon.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, and then even them, they wouldn't necessarily say they're happy, because different circumstances and different metrics they use to measure success.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about perspective, and
100%.
to get to what Bills was saying is that social media
is distorting it.
Distorts that metric. It shows you examples that create the wrong images, the wrong metrics.
Facts.
I agree with that.
That's why for all your people out there, detox from the blood clot system.
But follow TGR 905 on IG.
We'll never give you that
hit the subscribe button on YouTube.
Yeah. Just
check us out on Spotify.
Our social
maybe a TikTok thing soon.
Tunnel vision.
You know?
Definitely. No, but like before we end this episode, because that's a good way to end the episode, I just wanted to say like happiness and success is such an elusive thing that everybody in this world tries to attain one way or another. Like, you know, the beauty is in the journey, but in incremental successes and things that make you happy along the way are imperative to essentially
you gotta celebrate
realizing
those things.
that, you know what I mean? Like you don't, you know, the old saying, you gotta walk before you run type of thing. Yeah, you don't see the grandeur of success and essentially go balls out and chase it, right?
Yeah.
Like you
have
do
to make
one step at a time, right? And self-improvement is where it's at, because the more you compare yourself to others, like through something like social media, you're never going to catch up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Never going to. Someone's always going to look better than you. Someone's always going to be richer than you. It's going to be better than you. Better at ball. It's going to be better fucking braids, better TGR hoodie, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, being content with yourself and happy and realizing that, you know, I have room to improve no matter what is sort of what should, you know, make you keep going.
Bomb.
But on that note, thank you for joining us on our return episode. At this rate, we're doing one every quarter.
16 weeks.
But no.
Listen,
we good.
I have a goal for 2023 because I'm not sure if we'll get to do another one before the new year.
New Year's one would be fucking lit.
It would be. We are going to release. I'm making this. We are going to release a minimum of 12 podcasts over the course.
Write it down.
2023.
I'm with you on that.
I can do.
I'm with you on that.
If we can, let's start there.
Okay.
24, bro. Double it up. Like
I want that, but
once a day.
Once a second.
Let's just do the Michael Jordan. You give Michael Jordan 5 reps to do, he'll do 10.
Jeez.
So we'll give ourselves 12. And we'll see if we do
might
24.
bang out 112.
I like it.
But
ain't cream, dog.
you know the deal. Follow us.
Yeah, follow us, subscribe.
Compare yourself to us.
Stay up,
Spotify.
And join us on the next episode of TGR 905.
Done. No.